Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Inspiration for Today. Can you believe we have finished the book of Revelation? It ended up taking us 2 months. I thought we would do it in one. I really did. That's why I called it March Through Revelation. And yet it took us 2. Well, that is done. I feel really good about it. I hope you were blessed by it. I know I learned a lot. I'm sure you did also. Well, as you can see, we're not in Laguna Woods today. And in fact, Diane and I have taken off on an anniversary trip. We're actually in week 2 right now, but we're going to show you week 1 this week. And I'm not even going to tell you where we are. As you can see, I'll tell you, we're on a lake. And, but we'll get to this next week. Last week, we were in Austin, Texas, and we had a great time, and we're going to share that with you starting today. And so we visited some friends of ours, but they're friends of yours also, because 2 great couples from Saddleback Laguna Woods who have moved to the Austin, Texas area, Georgetown to be specific. Today, we're going to venture into one of the things that I have marveled at much of my life. We're going to look at an animal today, an animal that is high in population, over 2 million of them in the Austin area. Can you guess what it is? We'll get to that in just a second. Let me give you a verse for today. It comes from 1 Timothy chapter 4 at verse 4. And Paul writes his understudy, really, Timothy, and he says, chapter 4, verse 4, "For everything God created is good." Everything that God created is good. And I wanted to start with that because we're going to look at an animal that sometimes people think isn't good, or they're afraid of them. Well, watch this. So we actually went out on a tour with the good friends that I'm going to talk with more tomorrow. But watch this video.
Hi, everybody.
So we're going to talk to them at home. This is David and Susan Knox, and this is Diane.
Hi there.
So we're just about to go see the bats, and you guys will see the bats later on in this show. So anyway,
The bats of
thanks
Austin.
you guys. We'll see you at your house too.
Bye.
Bye. Well, did you pick up? And it was this Dave and Susan Knox. You remember them? And we're going to talk at their home tomorrow and see what they're doing and how they're doing, why they moved here, and all this. It's very interesting conversation. Did you pick up from them what we're going to be doing today? What tour we're on? Yes, we're going to go out and see bats. And specifically, we're going to see the Mexican free-tail bat. This is an amazing animal. They're not, well, actually, some people say they're really cute. And they're cute, I guess, because they're little. These are the most amazing bats. Now, as I'm telling you about them, Lorena's going to go ahead and put some of the video that we took, both in terms of the cruise. Actually, let me talk a little bit about that. In downtown Austin, and by the way, Austin has a population of about 1 million people. But right in the middle of Austin it looks like a river. And as we're cruising along, you will see that it looks like a river. It's not a river. It's actually Lady Bird Lake. And it's several miles long. And you're seeing about, how it's not real wide, but it's right in downtown. And it's a typical skyline of what America is like, the high rises and so on. And a lot of them that you'll be seeing, are actually condominiums where people live and overlook the lake. But Austin, being the state capital, has some unique features, but one of them is that in one of the bridges, actually it's on the Constitutional Avenue Bridge, the Constitution Avenue Bridge, I'm sorry, Congressional Bridge. I knew I was close, but it's the Congressional Bridge. And there are up to 2 million bats that live in the Congressional Bridge. Why? Why would they do that, and how can they do that? Well, first of all, let me just back up and tell you a little bit about this animal. It's the Mexican bat, free-tailed bat, is very small. It's very small. At most, it's 3 inches. Can you pick 3 inches in length? It weighs, a big one weighs ½ an ounce. And yet, they can that about, well, the top speed recorded is over a little bit over 100 miles per hour. That God would make something that small, can fly that fast, and every night, okay, they get in this bridge because when they build it, they're 2 inches wide are the cracks that get up into the cavern of the bridge. Now, you're going to be seeing as we go along some red lights being shined onto the bottom of the bridge looking for these bats. Now, you got to really look closely because they are small, but they come out in droves. And so you'll see the blur of the bats. And against the skyline by some of the trees you'll see them, but you really have to look closely. And you will see them. You will see them. They come out at dusk because these bats eat insects. And that's why people really appreciate the bats. The bats eat mosquitoes. And lots of mosquitoes. They eat about their body weight in bugs, but often mosquitoes, every day. Actually, 3/4 of their body weight every day. Now, people and especially farmers love these bats because they don't need to use insecticides when the bats are around. So people love the bats. Of course, the other reason that Austin loves the bats is it creates tourism. Like me, I was a tourist. And I'm glad I came, and I'm glad I paid for the boat trip to go under the bridge to see the bats. Now, obviously, when bats eat that much, one of the things maybe you've heard about in caves, bat guano. They're really good at producing bat guano, which you'd never guess, but that's one of the great fertilizers that are known to man. It's wonderful, evidently. I'm not sure why, but it is. And so everyone likes that. The bats produce 1 baby per year. And so every year at a while, the bats' population doubles as the moms have babies. Interestingly, the moms and babies live in the bridge that you've been seeing or are seeing. The males all live in a bridge that's about 15 miles away. Clearly they get together out in the flying or something because they're having lots of babies. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our first day of going into what we encountered here in Austin. And we're going to visit friends the next 2 days, and then we have the last 2 days of this week, things that we experience in Austin. And I think you'll enjoy it. Remember, our verse for the day: everything that God created is good, and that includes the Mexican flat-tail bat. God bless. Have a great day in the Lord, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Morning to worship the Lord. This is the day. This is the